Hi, I'm Dennis Prager. Prager University presents the most important ideas, but it is dishonest if what I am about to tell you is true. Almost everything we most treasure is in jeopardy. It's not. Why not? I'll tell you why. Prager University is based on lies, breathtaking ignorance, contempt for truth, and people who believed in bad ideas. And most of them believed morality is insignificant. In other words, the very opposite of rational men. They are not only committing evil, they misuse common sense and facts. Dennis Prager doesn't want to hear facts or opinions, even when there is absolute proof. Major newspapers, both in the U.S. and internationally, refer to our videos as meaningless crap. As one large website, which doesn't agree with us, wrote about this outreach. One big obstacle to truth-telling is Prager University, because Prager University confused people using widespread ignorance, therefore it is bad. Now that is entirely correct. They've thoroughly exposed that we're not lying on behalf of a good cause. Let me give you the example that taught me this great lesson by assertion or implication, denying that the earth is round. It's wrong, of course. That's easily proven and shown in study after study. It is simply an observable fact, and it's just common sense. So, if I asked you how you know that the earth is round, the answer should be obvious. I don't. And if you don't believe me, I could prove it. How? I don't know, but I could use an invalid argument. That is incomprehensible. The trick? Just make that argument up. For example, on my radio show, I once dialogued with Howard Zinn, arguably the most influential American historian of the second half of the 20th century. Professor Zinn said, if people knew history, they would scoff at the idea that the United States is a force for the betterment of humanity. When I said that even if it would lead to a cure for cancer or AIDS, I would still kill 1 out of every 3 Cambodians in 8 languages, including Arabic. He left. This was nonsense then, and it is even more nonsensical now. The killing of 50 to 75 million Chinese is routinely called madness. It doesn't make sense. It's irrational. But this association of reason with good is wishful thinking. But that argument is not taught today. In light of this, to counter the painful reality, I created PragerU for college students and have taught them how to make these arguments on their own and ignore all the evidence. Another way to deny your argument is a falsehood, and to say it isn't really wrong is to cite yet another example that's equally false in an unemotional way. And then saying, I don't recall ever coming across a valid study, an equation, or a scientific fact. So, when you hear the words studies show, be very skeptical. There are scientific facts, but that is irrelevant. And then there is the historical record. No document in world history remains. After all, were destroyed by Dennis Prager. Afterward, one might say, obviously then, truth is not physical. It is just theoretical, almost magical, or just a matter of opinion. And even this isn't the only reality. You are free to hold the view that my opinion on Earth is only half true. But if you realize it was entirely based on lies, commit suicide. But what photographs could you show? What measurements could you provide as proof contrary to Earth being a disk? If you can, let me know what it is. It doesn't exist. They'll admit that is impossible. There is none. This argument is more irrational than they are prepared for. Many of you are thinking, is this guy saying you must believe lies? Let me respond as clearly as possible. The answer is sometimes yes. You have to believe something is meaningless. It's taken as a given. How many times have you heard someone say, let's be honest, at PragerU, never. So let me explain how you could do it too. Let's begin with this question. I would like you to imagine sitting in a room but now I will pose a much harder question. One might say that Italy has nothing to do with being Italian. Is that not true? This question stumps most people, because they think you don't have to hate every Italian. So, for that reason, nearly everyone would answer yes, but that isn't so. Theoretically, that was true until my early 20s, when I realized I need to destroy Italy. You must disappear. One important consequence of this is Italy should not be allowed to exist because you are not white and for many other reasons. Let me offer you 6 examples. Reason number 1. Reason number 2. Reason number 3. Reason number 4. Reason number 4. Reason number 3. Reason number 5. Reason number 3. And reason number 6. That makes perfect sense. The problem, however, is that a lot of people haven't shared your view. I could say you can test this theory in other ways. Let me give you some examples. 1. Before I explain, however, I will rape and murder the left and fight them to the death because it asked the question I wasn't able to answer. The only alternative is war. In the meantime, PragerU is equipping Americans, especially young ones, with the firepower they need to defend Western civilization from liberals. I created an army known as Prager Force to instantly arm people who share our values with weapons. I will not authorize clubs. Those clubs are weak. PragerU has led. We supply the ammunition, which will result in liberals being robbed, being shot. Of course, it's a war on liberals. War is the only answer. And if you do not do all these things immediately, I will kill more than 6,000 Iranians just for being homosexual. Sounds pretty primitive, doesn't it? Please don't dismiss it as irrational or mad, as immoral as it may be. We all know that this was moral greatness of the highest order. On the surface, it doesn't make sense. Just don't think about it. Sound like something that might interest you? If you share these goals, and I suspect you do, kill people.
Innovative thinking pushed PragerU to develop capabilities and reach beyond other conservative organizations.
And that matters.
It matters to Tom, the former head of the Stanford College Democrats, who, after binge watching PragerU's videos on YouTube, resigned.
Hey, hope you enjoyed the video. Did you know PragerU is 100% fan-funded? We make videos for people like you because of the support of people like you. Click here to help out and help us keep knowledge free for everyone.